Hey, welcome to Apostolic Praise 102, a crash course in chords. This, of course, is a sequel to Apostolic Praise 101. And in this class, we're mainly going to be focusing on some of the more advanced chords, diminished chords, suspended 4 chords, augmented chords, 6 chords, minor 6 chords. There's a variety of other ones, half-diminished, augmented sevenths, as well as the whole tones, as well as the whole tone scale, the major and minor pentatonic scale. It's going to be a lot of fun stuff that we're going to go over in this course. So if you've taken Apostolic Praise 101, you know that you're in for just a ton of information, a lot of good stuff that's going to help your playing, and that's going to make you a better musician, God willing, if you practice. So we're excited that you're with us. You've decided to join us. Of course, this very first lesson is just going to be a review mainly of the sevenths that we learned in Apostolic Praise 101. If you don't know how to make the sevenths, minor sevenths, major sevenths, dominant sevenths, suspended 2 chords, from Apostolic Praise 101, if you're not familiar with these kind of chords, you may want to go back and actually take that course first before you take Apostolic Praise 102. There's a lot of information in it, and even though it starts from the very beginning, it's very useful, very helpful to your playing. We've got a lot of people that were already advanced players that started from the beginning just because they did not want to miss anything, and it helped them because there were some things that they did indeed learn from, even though it was the beginner's course, they did indeed learn from that course. So in this beginning, we're going to quickly go over just a quick review of how we make 7th chords, and then I'm actually going to teach you something really cool that is going to really help you as far as 9ths go. Even though we're not going to go over 9ths a whole lot in this course, it doesn't really start until AP 103, we're going to kind of teach you a really quick shortcut how to play 9ths, so that when you come to them, you're not stuck. They're really, really easy, and I've got a cool shortcut that's really going to help you. So quickly, before we do that, let's go over the just a quick review of how to make the 7ths. Of course, there's a formal way and a shortcut way, as we learned in IP 101, how to make 7th chords. The first chord to look at is a dominant 7th. The formal way to make that, for instance, a C7, you just take C chord, C, E, G, and just add the 7th to the top, which is B, and then you flat that 7th. Okay? Flat it, take it down 1 note, so C7 formal, C, E, G, B flat. Okay? Shortcut way, very simple. Play it again, but this time just drop your thumb down from C to B flat. 3-note chord. Technically, you should be at a 4-note chord with the 7 chord, but this is the shortcut way, and since we're still playing C in our left hand, we can drop it out of our right hand. Okay? Shortcut way. Formal way once again. Shortcut way. Okay? Same thing for major 7ths as well, and minor 7ths. The minor 7th, for instance, if we did it with an A minor 7th, we have A, C, E, okay? Then we add the 7th to the top, which is right before the 1 chord, an octave up, and then we flat that. So A minor 7, the formal way is A, C, E, G. Now remember, the formal way, we hardly ever play that in church, or when we're actually playing. We hardly ever play a formal 7 like an A minor 7 like that, just because it doesn't sound as good, and there's different voicings we can use. But we usually play it the shortcut way, which is like this. Okay, just add the 7 to the bottom and drop the 1 out of the right hand because we're playing it in the left hand. Okay, it looks like a C inversion in your right hand and with an A in your left hand. Okay, same thing for the major 7ths. So for instance, make a C major 7, add the 7 to the top, and that's all you have to do. C, E, G, B, C major 7 the formal way. Okay, we drop that down to B, go from C to B in our right hand with our thumb, Just take out the 1 here, and once again, even though a 7th is technically a 4-note chord, we're using it the shortcut way, which actually sounds a lot better than the formal way. Okay, so B, E, G, and then C in your left hand is the shortcut way for the 7ths. So spin it 2 chords very quickly. Just kick out the 3rd, add the 2. Just quick review from 101. C, D, G would be your suspended 2 chord. Okay, you can also leave the 3rd in to just play a C2, but technically a C suspended 2 is played with 10. I play it both ways, just depending on my mood and what kind of sound I want. This kind of gives a lighter sound. This gives a little more heavier, just a heavier sound with more notes there. Minor 2, A minor, just add the 2. On this chord, you have to leave the 3rd in, otherwise it'll sound funny. So A minor 2, A, B, C, E, and of course remember that's a substitute for any kind of minor chord. So, okay, great. Well, this is kind of the beginning here. Now I'm going to teach you the secret to using these 5 chords we've just learned, or reviewed very quickly, and we're actually going to show you the secret to making 9ths easily. We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, welcome back. So now we're going to learn the secret to making 9 chords easily using the 7th and the 2. Okay, this is very simple. So if you're looking at your lesson, your curriculum that has been emailed to you or that you purchased in the bookstore, you're going to see the first exercise song 1. You're going to see some kind of crazy diagrams. Basically, for those of you that are just watching this video, you don't have the curriculum in front of you, maybe on YouTube or some other form of media. The song basically goes like this. It's a C, 4 beats, C, 4 beats, and then F, C, A minor, D minor, G, G, C. Very simple, basic exercise song. What we've done, of course, in the curriculum we've drawn the diagrams for the substitution chords that can be used on those chords. So for instance, the first C, we could substitute a C2 or a C major 7. The second C, we could substitute a C2 or a C7, dominant 7. The F, we can do F2, F major 7. The 4th C, or the 3rd C, I'm sorry, on the top line, last chord, we can make it a C2. The A minor, we can play A minor 2 or A minor 7. The D minor 2 or D minor 7, and the G, we can do a G2 or G7. And then finally, the last C, you can do a C2 or a C major 7 to end it on that. The last G, you can also do a G2 or G7. So anyways, that's the basic of the song, C, C. And let me correct that real quick. It's C, C, F, C, A minor, D minor, G, G. Okay, so there's 2 G's at the end, and then it ends on the C. So what you're basically going to do, say for instance we wanted to substitute and make a 9th out of these chords. So we wanted to, instead of playing, and of course you've probably seen the songs, you come to them and you're like, oh God, what do I do, because I don't know how to play a 9th chord yet. Of course, you know that you can substitute a 7th anytime you see a 9th chord, but wouldn't it be nice just to know how to play that great sounding 9 chord that so many people use? So basically how it works, anytime you see a 7th, you can play a 9 chord. So if you see a C7, you can make it a C9. It's going to sound better because you're going to have more advanced layered notes. If you have a C major 7, you can play a C major 9. If you have a C minor 7, you could substitute a C minor 9. Okay, so there's a lot of possibility with 9ths, and really, personally, they're one of my favorite chords. You're going to use them extensively. You'll almost never go back to playing the 7ths because the 9ths just sound so much better. So here's the secret. Finally, we're coming to it after all that long diatribe. So the secret of making a 9th, basically, here's how it works. 2 plus 7 equals 9. 2 plus 7 equals 9. So if you want to play a C9, all you've got to do is play a C2 and a C7 put together. Okay, so for instance, we have a C. Of course, remember we played them the shortcut way. So C7 right here, B flat, E to G. Okay, and then we're just going to add our 2. Okay, so B flat, D, E, G. There you go, that's a C9 chord. Okay, that's the shortcut way for the C9. There's a formal way which we won't learn until AP 103. So C9, B flat, D, E, G, C in your left hand. Okay, if we wanted to make an A minor 9, same thing. 2 plus minor 7 equals 9. So here's A minor 7, add your 2, and there's A minor 9. G, B, C, E. Once again, G, B, C, E, A minor 9. Okay? We wanted to make it a C major 9. Take a C major 7 and add the 2. And you can already hear how much more beautiful it sounds. B, D, E, G. So C major 9, B, D, E, G. And isn't that just so incredibly easy? A lot of people don't know how to play the ninths. They never advance past the sevenths, and they're really missing out. When the ninths, the sevenths are really tougher than the ninths, in my opinion, because it takes longer to learn how to distinguish which seventh is which. It's easy to get them confused. Which one's the major seventh? Which one's the dominant seventh? Which one's the minor seventh? Which is why we're so careful in our AP 101 to teach each one of those chords separately, so you get a week to practice one of them and distinguish between them. So hopefully that will help you with the secret to making nines. So let's go through and play our exercise song using all of these cool substitutions. So the first C has become a C major 9. The next C is a C9. The F is an F major 9. Back to the C, which is a C2. A minor has become an A minor 9. D minor has become D minor 9. G, the next G is a G2. And the last G is a G9. And then finally you can end it on a C major 9. Or a C2. Okay? So we'll play it real quick. And I like to add a little bit of rhythm to it, so we're not going to, even though it's 4 beats, we're not going to do the same little boring beat. We're going to do actually kind of add a little bit of rhythm to it. So 1, 2, 3, here we go. Okay, so and you see we can actually kind of just make ninths the whole time we're playing, you know. And of course the first line I played it with 2 major 9s. You can do that if you want to, technically the way it's written is. Okay, didn't even play any of the 2s. Of course you can go through and play that however you want to, and hopefully that'll add some extra stuff to your playing. Of course, if you have the Apostolic Praise complete chorus book with that 120 songs in it, all the way from Amazing Grace, you know, to Anointing, Blessed Be Your Name, Here to Worship, a lot of just neat core apostolic Pentecostal songs, a lot of contemporary stuff in there. Then you can go through and there's a lot of 9s that are in those chords that we've replaced, like Amazing Grace. It's replaced all of the boring 7s that you might have learned, or just maybe just plain major and minor chords. Those have all been replaced with cool 9s and upgraded chords. So if you get the chance, check that book out in the bookstore as well. It's written kind of more advanced, and now that you're kind of getting more advanced in your chords and your playing, I'd highly recommend that as well. So good deal. Well, hopefully these 9s will really help you. The secret to 9s, you never thought they'd be so easy. If you already knew your 7s, this will be a breeze for you. So anyways, thank you, and we'll see you in lesson 2. God bless.